We just turned over to Jim, didn't we?
Hi, everybody.
Yeah, turn the Jim.
Give me a second. Hi, everybody. We are live. This is Elixia Box of Memories. This is a D&D 5e campaign in a homebrew world. This is Season 2, Episode 10, Reflections of the Present. You can find ZealZaddy and follow ZealZaddy at everything at or / ZealZaddy. That would be all the socials here, obviously, Patreon, and YouTube. Let's get to the players because they're way more interesting than I am anyway. So bring them in.
That's not true.
It is true.
Damn lies.
Totally true.
I think you're
All
just
right.
as interesting.
Say hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Hey,
They're
thanks
all-
for watching.
They're all here.
Well,
So-
Brandon
back.
disappeared.
He'll be
Brandon
back.
probably.
They're all here, more or less. Brandon's just stepped away, but he's here.
At the very least, we're all here in spirit.
Yes.
Let's introduce ourselves. Let's start with Brandon. Oh wait, no. Let's start with Tiffany.
Hi, I'm Tiffany, and I play Cerridwen Sagewynd. She goes by Dillon. She's a part of the group. I also host my own show called Dungeon Damsels. So if you're looking for some female-centric content with themes of friendship, then come to us. We're adorable. We're on YouTube and podcast form. And I'm super excited to play tonight. We're in a bathhouse. Sounds anticlimactic, but it's where we're interesting. Oh yeah, we just retrieved a stolen gem and returned it. So that's a good start. Okay.
Yep. All right, Morgan.
You say me?
Yep, said you, Morgan.
What's up, everybody? I am Morgan. I'm with My Philly Mondays, and I am a pro DM, but we're not going to talk about that tonight. What I want to talk about is my wife's book. My wife is a children's author, and she wrote a book recently, and it is out for sale. You can check it out on Amazon, and as you can see, are amazing. Tiffany picked one up. Thank you so much. If you have children, check out this book. It's got a great moral lesson for you, and they'll love it. Every kid I've seen that read it, love it. Other than that, I play Vesryn Madrick of House Madrick. I am the party's wizard. And as always, I'm just so happy to be here. I've missed you guys. It's been too many weeks. Get what I did there? Too many weeks.
Yep. 2 weeks too many.
And with that, I'll be quiet now.
It is a good book. I read it. I got it. It's adorable. And it's a good message.
Thank you so much.
All right, let's jump to Brandon.
Hi, I'm Brandon.
Fantastic. He has a children's photo that we use for his character image. Not a children's book, but it's funny and cute.
I wonder if Brandon, as a child, would have enjoyed Morgan's wife's book.
Probably.
I wonder if Brandon, as an adult, would enjoy it. I would probably enjoy it.
Probably.
I enjoy it.
I enjoy it.
Enjoy most things.
I've actually read it quite a few times, and sometimes not even when the kids are around. So.
All right.
I'm excited to get it.
All right, Dillon.
I'm Dillon. I play Eslov, the Dragonborne Barbarian. And there's not too much to talk about, other than it's been 2 weeks. We're still in Mama Luigi's bathhouse, and I'm ready to kill.
Mama Bardusa's.
Producer.
Mama Bardusa.
And you're a barbarian that's been hanging out in a bathhouse, kind of healing up your wounds and enjoying a unicorn horn bath.
That we paid
Beautiful.
an exorbitant amount for.
Okay, you needed it. You were like flayed.
Suffering. And last time, I lost my tattoo. Or that's, I guess, the time before. But
Yeah.
that's why we're in the bathhouse, or one of the reasons.
Yep. Trying to heal up. And you're healing up. All right. So I guess to do a recap, we'll get started with. I wonder if I should do one real quick. So I'll do a quick one because I don't think there was a whole lot that needs a whole lot of explanation. you came across the Clerics of the Wild Moon, which was the goddess Mava, who is a god of chaos, basically. Not really chaos, but in some ways. And they were having a party that you skipped past, although you were invited several times by various people with different levels of drunkenness or stonedness, and no varying levels of nudity. They were all equally nude.
They were really interested in Brandon's character.
Yeah, hey, he's good looking. You're all good looking, so does that matter? And then you went to the Mama Barduz's bathhouse, and the moment you got there, you realized it was expensive. You could see what today would be a lawn, which there really weren't lawns unless you were really wealthy in the time you're in. There were statues in the garden out front, and as soon as you got in, you were welcomed by a butler and a security guard who took your weapons and allowed you passage in for money and different baths to soothe your ailing bodies and minds. And while you were in there were a few people sort of crossing through your rooms that shouldn't have been. There was a gnome and a shandao. A shandao is a four-armed person with hair sort of like, how do I describe it? They're like dreadlock tentacles, but they're not really tentacles. They just sort of hang.
Oh, they're like Twilight Braintails.
Yeah. And you didn't know why they were crossing through. They kept crossing through. And then suddenly, in the bath where Eslov was, the gnome came through and jumped into his pool and tried to hide. And Eslov lifted him up and put him out in front of the next person coming in, which was the Shandao, who...
That gnome happened to leave something important behind it.
He did. He dropped something, it seems, into the water, which was a blue gem, a sapphire of some kind, a pretty big one. And he carried the gnome out, and Mama Bardusa came and bumped into Morcant and invited him and the rest of you to her office to talk about something later, and gave you free room for the eve, which apparently is a big deal because everybody in the steam room was like oohing and eyeing at the fact that Morcant got invited. And that's kind of where we left off. You finally gathered together. Oh no, the blue gemstone, the sapphire, when they were coming to speak to you, to invite you all, Eslov had left the sapphire on the side of the pool, and it was seen.
This is totally out of pocket, but I just now had a thought that when you mention Mama Bardusa, she sounds like she looks exactly like you, Baba from Spirited Away.
Oh.
I get that vibe. I kind of got like a matronly, like older woman.
She even has a bathhouse, so.
Yeah, I get that.
I had a completely different image in my head, but now that's the image in my head.
I just imagine Mama Bardusa is like, I guess, sexier than.
Something like a Cruella de Vil almost.
Oh yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
Imagine she has like the same personality though. Maybe a bit nicer actually.
I like that you have differing views on who she reminded you of. That's good.
So
she did seem very personable.
We're all in the. So are we in her office yet? Or are we still in Eslov's bath?
No, you're in Eslov's bath, and the gem is there, and so is the butler, who sees the gem and says, "Oh my gosh, Mama Bardusa was looking for that." And he reaches down and picks up the gem. She'll be so pleased that you had found this. Which one of you found this?
The gnome brought it.
A gnome?
What gnome?
Dropped it in there.
Wait, what gnome?
Do I have any physical descriptors of the gnome?
Yeah. He's short.
He was short. Oh, wait. They all are, aren't they?
They all are. He has... let me get the descriptors for our gnome.
So did this gnome just drop it in, or did he?
No, he fell in. I picked him up, took him out. Somebody else came and took him. I found the gem. And we're here now.
He had blonde hair.
It was a whole thing. I don't know.
Blonde hair, some kind of round pieces of glass in front of his eyes.
He had like a monocle or something. I don't know.
It was some kind of a piece of glass, and he was wearing a little vest with a collared shirt underneath it, and pants with some kind of a chain hanging down between two pockets, and nice
He
shoes.
looks like a real fancy kind of guy.
Oh. Should we see a gnome running around?
No, but we did see the lady, or I think it was a lady with multiple arms, the Shandao.
Well, yeah, that was random.
Did the Shandao give you her name?
No, she just stepped in, apologized, and stepped out.
Didn't I get her name? Or their name?
No,
Didn't think so.
no names were offered. Well, whenever you're ready, I'm to show you to your rooms and give you time to clean up and do whatever you need to do before visiting with Mama Bardusa.
Great.
Sounds
Cool.
wonderful. I can finally look at these items we found.
Oh, yeah. You were trying to identify those for a while.
I'm going to lean over to Eslov and be like, he was preoccupied in the bath. And then just lean down.
Was that Morcant?
Eslov chuckles as he looks in their direction.
And
He gives you an elbow.
the butler says, I'll be back to collect you whenever you're ready. And he steps out and leaves the four of you.
Well,
Do we have bathing suits, or are we just...
We're in the fluffy robes.
Oh,
You have fluffy robes.
well, we have robes on. You have nothing on, I think, if you're in the water right now.
Right.
Are you still in the water?
I think he put the robe on, or a towel
Okay.
on.
Okay,
he
I wasn't
made
sure
a
if he'd
point
gotten
to-
out yet.
Yeah,
I think he made a point to say put a towel on. Well, I'm gonna get changed, so
Yes. I will as well.
yeah, I'm gonna head to the rooms.
And so I was about to call myself Eslov. So will Vesryn.
not that cool, Vesryn. Okay. Vesryn is far more suave.
Is he though?
Well, Eslov's just dumb. So,
I do like
can
that
come
Eslov
across.
now can distinguish between normal clothing and fancy clothing, as opposed to just the weird clothing they wear in the South. He's progressed.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. When you step out of the room, the butler is standing there waiting for you. Says, if you're ready, I'll show you to your room.
Lead the way, good
Miss.
Yeah, I'm ready.
And he walks you down the hallway, and it curves back around, and then after a little while the hallways stop being curvy and open up to that main room in the center. And he crosses over, you cross the center room, and there's more doors on that side. And the first door near the front, he takes you down the first hallway. And there are rooms off to each side, different ones. Takes you all the way to the end, and the 4 end rooms. He says, these are your rooms, and he opens each one, shows you the rooms. They're pretty large. They have big 4-poster beds with drapes hanging on the ends. There's gold or silver leafing on all the posts. On the other accoutrements in the room, there's mirrors everywhere, hand mirrors, mirrors on the walls, dressers, wardrobes for your clothes.
It's fancy.
It's fancy. There's even little statues in the rooms on pedestals.
Is there like are all the beds the same size?
Oh. All but one. There's one that is larger, and that's the one that they put you in, Cerridwen.
Yeah, she just like beelined for that. I'm sure she has lived a life of having her feet hang off the bed.
Yeah. But not tonight.
Nope, not tonight. She's just like... You see her gleefully leap onto the bed. It's long enough.
There's also vanities in each room with perfumes and makeups and all that in all 4 rooms.
I asked the butler. Now, I know that there is a strict policy on no weapons and armor, but is there by any chance that I could look over some items that we brought in temporarily and then give it back later? I had some things I needed to research on them.
If you wish to leave the grounds, you could do that.
Understood. I can wait to do those ones. Thank you.
And just ring the bell whenever you are ready, and I will fetch you and make sure that everything is ready for you.
Thank you, good sir. You have a wonderful day. And I'll pull out a gold and tip him a gold.
Oh, no.
I insist.
I insist not. And he steps back and he opens the door. I thank you, though, for your gesture.
Thank you.
And you're all in your rooms. And Donja, you don't really see a bell, but okay.
Vesryn's going to use this time to look over the cube, the hat, and the ropes, just to make sure there's nothing. The other things there are was the shield and the Morning Star, which I left at the front.
Yeah. Okay, the cube, the hat.
Now that I don't have like this comfortable water making it hard for me to concentrate.
Yeah.
I
Let me go get those. That
think
info.
someone would be pretty interested in the perfumes. Like, one of the random items she starts out with is a bottle of perfume, so
Nice.
she's just like classic like spritz sniff. Go in the room, and she probably smells like a little, like all of them at the end of it.
I can totally see you like taking your old one and going, I'll just leave this one here and take this one with me. Trades. We can trade, right?
Trade
Hey.
these. Yeah. Just, since you're going to identify, she would take the time to do and utilize the makeup.
Yeah.
Might as well.
So
you never immediately rush to meet somebody like that. You got to make them wait so they don't think that you're so eager, you know?
Right, yeah.
So the box, it is magical, and it's hard to tell exactly how it functions, but it has some kind of illusion magic on it. And it seems pretty simple to kind of adjust the pieces around it to make it change the patterns on the outside. But it seems very difficult to get them back into the same places as you twist pieces, and it seems like a puzzle almost.
Interesting.
It may take you a little while to
I'll
complete
complain
it.
with that. It's a magical Rubik's Cube, guys.
Something like that, yeah. They are ropes of climbing. Ropes.
Which is what we assumed. I just want to make sure they weren't like cursed ropes of climbing.
Replace Morcant's arms.
Is that a curse or an added bonus?
Depends on how proficient he gets with them.
And the Jester Hat.
Yeah, and the Jester Hat. So the Jester Hat, it does have a magic on it. Hold on, I gotta tell you what form it is. Give me a second. It has enchantment magic on it, and it seems to compel people to laugh at your jokes.
Okay. All right, good to know.
All right. So the rest of you are enjoying the stepping into your rooms, and while you're in there, you realize that each room has probably, as you're counting, probably 10 or 15 mirrored objects. Mirrors on the vanities. There's one on the back of the door. There's ones on little handheld pieces. There are mirrors on walls. There are mirrors near the windows that kind of reflect in light. And that just seems interesting.
I mean, I've always enjoyed looking at myself, but this is a little much for me.
I feel like Dwayne would be too, like, I don't know, like zenned out and relaxed to like really think about it too much. Be like, oh, there's a lot of mirrors in here.
Yeah, they're beautiful. They have beautiful frames and everything. Most of them.
Vesryn realized nobody laughed at his joke. He puts the Jester Hat on and says it again. No, I'm kidding.
Morcant is oblivious.
Well, so I found out that the hat makes people laugh at your jokes. This cube item, I find it fascinating. Even with detecting and identifying it, it still evades me at this moment. So I'd like to hold on to it until I can research it a little bit more. But those ropes are perfect for if you need help climbing.
Oh,
so we have 2 of those.
nice.
So I don't know who wants these items. I'd like to hold on to the cube for a little bit longer until we know exactly what it does.
I'll take a rope.
Anybody else want the other rope or the Jester Hat? Eslov, you might look good in this hat.
I mean, it kind of feels like an Eslov thing. Not gonna
Is
lie.
it gonna fit me?
Oh, I'm sure it will. Yeah,
I
let's
guess
see.
I'll take it. I'll see if it even fits on my head with my horns.
Not comfortably. It might hang.
Maybe I rip 2 holes in it as I put it on.
Destroying the magic.
Actually, no, because my horns, Eslov's horns go backwards. They don't go up.
Yeah. It probably just sort of sits between them and kind of hangs in, down the front.
He's just gonna slide it onto one of his horns and just leave it like that.
And there you go.
Well, tell a joke.
How do you tell a joke?
Oh, it works. It works.
Yeah, can I get a wisdom save from everybody?
I choose. I actually. I know I was gonna say I choose to fail, but I actually rolled a 1, so I failed anyway.
You failed in real life too.
That's a 7. No.
21.
Of course.
Morcant.
Doesn't get it.
Doesn't get
Morcant's
it.
a deadpan expression. It's not funny at all.
Everybody else suddenly finds this to be a really hilarious joke. Almost it's like a super deadpan delivery, but a quality joke that if you understand it, you're totally in on it. And
You wouldn't understand it. It's kind of a big brain joke.
Yes, exactly. And
Complex comedy.
and everybody except Morgan starts just laughing hysterically at your joke.
I said Morgan. I think he meant Morcant.
Why is everyone laughing?
Hold on a second.
The joke. It was hilarious. You didn't get it?
I must have missed it.
Well, maybe Morcant's intelligence is too low.
You know, whenever you go into combat, Eslov, you should tell a joke before you rage. Make them laugh before you make them cry.
That's one
I'm
way.
telling you, it'll be
Usually
all
I don't
the
get a
rage.
chance to cry, but keep that in mind.
The barbarian path of the jester.
Yes.
He did tell another joke right there, in case you didn't hear it.
Yeah, and you guys are just loving his jokes. You think that he's just incredibly funny for a whole minute, and then it's just like,
Eventually he
less
takes
funny.
it off because he wants you guys to be serious.
yeah. El, can you take the dogs out of there, please?
And suddenly he gets a lot less funny.
Ooh.
Yeah.
No, he's still funny.
You know, that might come in handy at some point in the future. You never know.
So, are we ready to meet our hostess?
Yeah, I'm good to go. She's a little
So there's like a thing for us to ring?
I will actually
There-
keep it on if we're meeting.
There is a rope by the door.
Any objections?
No? Go ahead and vote.
And when you do it, you hear a bell ring. And a few minutes later, the butler knocks on the door, and then opens it. You're ready. That was very quick.
Oh, was it? We could take longer.
The matriarch is ready to see you, though. She's been preparing.
Perfect. I just didn't want to rush her.
And
That's cool.
he walks you back, and you go back to the center room, the grand room, and at the very end of it, hold on one second.
Do your thing. I'm not gonna lie, when I did it and he said you pulled the rope, part of me thought he was gonna open a trapdoor underneath me. Just a small part.
We just split into. We go into like her secret meeting room or something.
Yeah.
I'm
Into
actually the
Batcave.
villain of the next arc.
Only one dog left in here. We'll see.
Not for long.
Not for long, if at all possible. And you go into the doorway, and there's a round room. There's some runes that show for a moment, and then the door opens, and you go back where you think was that same room, but it's not the room at all. It's a hallway. And you walk 10 or 15 feet to these really beautiful gold doors that have they're gold leafed, and they have two big handles on them. And he turns one of the handles, opens the door, and you're immediately struck by the door has mirrors all over the insides. You walk in, there's beautiful rugs on the floor, tapestries along the walls, little pedestals with fancy mirrors on posts, and hand mirrors, and a few really large floor mirrors, and a desk right in the middle with a vanity to the side. And standing behind the desk is the woman that you had met, Morcant, Mama Bardusa. She's a tall, good-looking woman, big, beautiful makeup. She's got glittering gold makeup on her cheeks, and she leans forward. She says, "Welcome, my friends. Can you please bring them seats?" She says to the butler, who walks to the side and brings some seats over. Make me a perception check.
16.
Okay.
19.
Also 19.
13.
All right. So the two 19s notice that on the desk there's books that seem to be fairly thin, papers and documents, but there's also the blue gemstone is on the ground there, on the table there. I mean, and next to it is a golden key that looks a little bit like. Here, let me. If you're in Shard, I will show it to you. And
Let's bring up my shard.
oh, it's not showing Shard on the map. Yeah. Go back. So it's this key that has an odd triangular end, and then when it comes down to where the key would go in, it looks like it's broken pieces of mirror that are stuck to the ends. And there's a shape that looks like it fits about the size of that gemstone that's still sitting on the table nearby, but not in it. And the seats arrive, and she says, "Please have a seat, my friends. I do want to thank you for finding the gemstone that I was looking for. I'm very interested in the story of how you came into possession of it. It was Eslov, correct, that came into possession of my gemstone." Is
You're
that
muted.
Near you.
Who's muted?
Eslov.
Oh,
Keep in mind, I put the hat back on.
okay.
A gnome gave it to me.
A gnome.
Well, he didn't really give it, but he dropped it in the bath after he fell in.
So he was walking through your private bath.
It was more like he was sneaking, but yeah.
And she opens a drawer to the side of her.
Pulled the
And-
gnome out.
No. And she pulls out coins, and you can see that inside there's coins, and they're all in slots. There's gold coins, silver coins, copper, what have you. And she pulls out the coins, and she says, and she puts them in front of all of you. These are the coins to reimburse you for what you had paid for your baths today. And if anyone goes through and interferes with your bath, it is completely inappropriate and will ruin the pleasure of a private bath. So those baths obviously were on the house, and we'll have to make up for them another day with another option. Please tell me more about the gnome. And I heard there was a Shandao involved also.
Yeah, Eslov will go through and he'll explain everything he remembers about the gnome's appearance and what he saw after that, and then how he came to find the gem in the bath with him.
So you think it jumped into the water, dropped the stone, the gemstone, and you handed him to the Shandao that came through, seemingly also sneaking through or looking around for this person, for the gnome.
Something like that.
And the butler leaves the room. She goes, the time you've been here has been full of activity, much more so than is typical for my house, and I have to apologize 100 ways for the interference. If nothing else, my business is known for privacy and the opportunity to disengage from the world around you. Hence obviously the money back, but also free nights so you can get some proper rest. I imagine, Cerridwen, you often are sleeping on beds made for humans and elves, and they're, of course,
Yeah.
not the right size.
Just like, you have no idea.
And the butler comes back in the door, and he walks over and says, "Pardon me, one moment." And he starts whispering to her. You guys can make me a perception check if you'd like. See if you can hear anything.
Another 19.
Nice.
I rolled a nat 3 plus 4, so 7.
Oh, a 7.
13.
All right, so Eslov, you're the only one who hears anything said, and you hear, "Peric has been found, drowned." And Mama looks at all of you for a moment, and she stands up and she says, "Please excuse me for a moment. This may take a little time, but I promise I will be back as soon as I can."
If
Can you
you're-
Eslov
please-
does have a concerned look on his face.
Can you bring something for them to snack on? They can enjoy in my room while I'm out. I'll be back.
if I may intrude, if you need the services of a cleric, I am here.
Not to mention, if you need help with anything, I don't know what the situation is, but we are skilled in many ways.
That may happen. I need a moment to find out what has happened. So I'll be back shortly. Food will be brought in if you'd like something to nosh on. And she heads out of the room. The butler says, "I'll be back in a moment with some food. Please enjoy the tapestries and the art." And there's statues and art and stuff all in here. And they both step out into the hall.
Keeping in mind the fact that Eslov is still wearing the hat, he turns to everyone and he just says, "Someone died."
Wisdom save.
Nope.
Yeah, you should make him make a wisdom save.
What do you mean someone died?
Somebody's drowned. What was the name of the person?
Peric.
Somebody named Peric?
Do you think it could have been the gnome? Could have been the gnome? I mean,
Maybe.
it sounds like it could be a gnomish name.
From what it sounds like, I don't think she recognizes the description of the gnome. I don't know if she knew that gnome. Whoever that was could have had something to do with that.
True.
No. It's good to know. We should be careful with who we deal with. I guess we just wait. If she wants to involve us in her personal matters, she will.
I know that this is probably like a long shot, but I want to look at the art in her room and compare it to the art in the vision I saw with Taliesin.
Make me an intelligence check.
And not knowing that that's what she's doing, Vesryn's just looking at the art with her because he finds art fascinating.
Okay.
This dice needs a nap.
It's a really lovely piece, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it's real nice. I rolled a natural 1, so that'd be 2.
Yeah. Doesn't see, you don't remember it being this art. Thank goodness. Or not thank goodness. What are you doing, Morcant and Eslov?
Eslov's kind of just standing around awkwardly. Like he usually does.
Yeah.
So is Morcant just kind of like looking around, waiting for something to happen.
So how about that bath?
In the robe.
So how about that bathhouse food?
The chocolate was nice.
Shortly after, the butler does come in with a cart, a trolley, wheels it up next to the table, and he moves some of the paper to one side, and sets a tray of food there for noshing on, with some cocktails that you've never seen. Says, "I'll be back as soon as I can. Mama needs a little bit of my assistance, so please enjoy the art." And he rolls the trolley out, and there's food on the table that is fancy food.
Well, I almost feel like I'm home. I will I will summon Soul, by the way, and see if she wants to fly around the room, a little bit enjoy the area, as well as maybe she wants to. I know she's a creature of Fae, but she might enjoy the food as well.
Yeah, what's striking when Soul arrives is, when she appears, is you suddenly realize you see probably dozens of her all over the room in all the mirrors. There's just so many mirrors in here that it just sort of makes a shocking, like, images of Soul all over the place.
Soul, you are beautiful. Look at these mirrors. They love you. So let's eat.
For a second, Dwyn misses that part where you said you're beautiful, and then she's just like, and then like abruptly just stuffs her face with snacks. Snacks are great.
I imagine Soul being like right next to you when I say it, so you almost think I am saying it to you, like.
While you're there eating, and the butler moves the paper, there's a sheet of paper that's sticking out that has a name you recognize on the very top of it. It's under a bunch of other papers, but it seems to be kind of moved out from behind the rest.
Who recognizes it? All of us, or who sees it?
You. All of you would recognize it. It is. Hold on, let me say who it is. Give me a second. I gotta pull up my sheet. So you see a name on the sheet at what seems to be the very top. Although you can only see a little tiny bit of it. That is Praetoris Moro. Make me an intelligence check. You can see the name. It's
intelligence check.
I made one too instinctively. I'm not over there, but I got a 15.
I got a 19. I got a 19 now. Yeah. Ha, Eslov. You're not the only one that can roll them.
I got significantly lower.
And Tiffany, what'd you get?
I didn't roll because I felt like she just would be too distracted by being embarrassed, but I'll roll. That's a 12.
A what? A 12 or a 20?
12.
Okay. So, Morgan, you're the only one who remembers that name. That was one of the names on Aylin's list.
Aylin's list. What was the name?
Praetoris Moro.
Moro. Do you guys see that name there? Praetoris Moro.
Sounds familiar.
That's one of the names that was on the list.
Oh yeah, in your brother's tower room, right?
The list of all the people that they were looking for. Yeah.
What list?
The one that your brother's name was on.
Oh, yes.
That list. Oh, so you do recognize him as your brother now. Give me that Jester Hat. I need that Jester Hat.
It's just going around the room. Everybody's getting a chance with it.
I don't know. It's odd. I don't want to go through her things, but I'd like to know more about who that person is.
It seemed like an odd coincidence.
You could just ask, but who knows? It could be. Ask for forgiveness, or should we ask for permission?
The classic conundrum.
Oh. Well, she did leave us alone in the room with her papers out.
I'll take a quick glance at it just to see if I can see anything information.
Yeah, you can only see the corner of the paper. The rest of it's covered by other papers that are on top of it.
Yeah, I'll just pull it and look at it. Just that person's name.
Okay, and it's a whole bunch
Actually,
of names.
What I actually will do is I'll hold my finger where it is in that stack of papers, pull it out, look at it, and then I'll slide it back in there, try to make it exactly as close to the way it was before.
And you see and when you pull it for the moment, you see a list of names on it with some kind of descriptive stuff after them.
What does it say about any other names jump out at me? And anything about him that jumps out?
Every name on it you think was on Aylin's list. As a matter of fact, you think this might be the same list. Different handwriting and different stuff, but you haven't really read all the details on what's said, but
right.
It looks like the same names.
I'll show them real quick, and then I'll slide it back into place, and then I'll...
There is something different on the bottom, though, next to the name Taliesin.
Yeah. What's it say?
What does it say about Taliesin?
Here, I'll just drop it into this.
Ooh, Discord drops. Y'all ain't ready for this.
Although it is hard to read because these handwriting fonts are hard to read sometimes. But even though it looks like the same list, the same names of people, the information about each person is different than what was on Aylin's list.
Refused to come, refused money, was well protected.
So, So Praetora says somewhere in Belai, refused to come, refused money, was well protected. Eliberos Hykas, imprisoned in Ardell, paid to go to Phelan. So it sounds like that was one of the ones that maybe went to Phelan. Heliroris Gilsine, imprisoned in Ardell, paid to go to Phelan. And down the list. These don't line up exactly with the information that Aylin had, but then you get down to ones like Clovis Van Amstel. It says last seen in Wythe, not found. And then for Taliesin, it says, need to find out who this one is. Very little information. Perhaps a fey giant. Maybe a tall elf. All initial means of detection have failed. Perhaps Apania Wyfield has some divination magic. Or maybe Char. And when you look at it, you start to realize that she may have been the one or been someone hired to collect these people. Or she knows who was because she has the list.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is interesting. Should we...
Does the name Apania Wayfield mean anything to me?
That is the Apania of the soul in Wythe.
Well, I suddenly feel odd. Well, I suddenly feel like I maybe shouldn't ask her about Taliesin.
Actually, it might be interesting to see how she reacts if you do.
Instead of Taliesin, how about instead we use the other Van Amstel?
Yeah, and there was another one on there that said Ulari Window, not Ulari, Farnan Bifiel on Kyvan, but well protected. And it says in the vaults, which that was never said in the other one. That's not a... You don't remember anything like that on the other list.
Huh.
Well, I mean, we have two ways to approach this. We act oblivious to it, or we let her know that what has happened on the island, see how she reacts to it. We either, honest, or we hide what we know. But either way, we should try to find out what she knows about these things.
I mean, she has been rather forthright.
Yes, and at this point, I'm sliding that paper back in. I don't want that paper in my hand when they come back in. So I'm putting the papers back down and trying to adjust it to where it looks like it hasn't been really touched.
While you're looking at the paper, Morcant and Eslov, can you make me perception checks?
I can make you the third one of them.
You can make one.
18.
Yeah, you definitely made it. Morcant?
12.
Okay. So, Eslov, you're looking and you realize that the gemstone, it's got a very slight glow to it, and it very slowly pulses, just a very small amount, not very much, and you vaguely remember it being bright or maybe having a little glow in the water or near the water, but it seems a little more here than it was there. The gemstone.
I might try to go in. Well, I don't know about it. Sorry.
And there's food for you to nosh on, and cocktails that are delicious.
This house probably never had a cocktail. I bet they're really fruity.
They are, and they're weird colors, pinks and greens, almost glowing greens and things like that.
Any
In weird
strawberry
shaped glasses
beverage?
too. Huh?
Any strawberry
beverage?
daiquiri? Sorry.
Okay.
Is there one with like a goofy straw or something?
Of course, and little parasols.
Just see Dwin like nervously sipping at it, like
It's very
just
sweet.
a long, consistent like slurp of nervousness.
I mean, I'm looking at Gwen. I mean, I don't think there's anything to be nervous about. I don't think she's necessarily working with them like that. Perhaps they hired her because she has connections here. And perhaps they figured she might be able to help track those individuals down. She may have no clue who they are, other than somebody hired her to find them. I mean, most of them were being hired under the disguise of being brought in as, experts in their fields. Perhaps they were told they were looking for these people because they had talents that were needed on the island.
I think you're maybe on the right track here. I mean, she is in the business of hiring artists to begin with. She probably deals with a lot of artists. And seeing as artists were required, I don't think there's a better talent scout.
That's what my mind was thinking. I don't think she's evil. I mean, evil people don't refund you money like this.
You see her just sort of like visibly she's relaxing. She's just like in this long gulp, like, yeah, okay. We should just bring it up that I'm looking for someone. If we're looking for Taliesin, and if we're looking for, I say we just be forthright with her at this point.
I mean,
so too.
if you want to gauge her reaction, we don't have to pick Taliesin off the list. There are several other people on there.
Well, we can start with Clovis.
It
And then-
takes far less explanation, and if she kills Clovis, then we know she's evil.
Also, I see on there about the other individual, that the Eponye from here. We might have a connection there. We need to figure out who this Cha is, but the Eponye here may know about Clovis as well. So
I mean, I do
once we
need
leave
to
here,
meet with them at some point.
once we leave here, we should see what they know about both those individuals. Perhaps they might be able to help us.
And you get to the bottom of your drink, Cerridwen, and it like, and there's nothing left. And it was really interesting because it was so cold, like it was like slushy snow almost. I'm not sure how they did that.
I'm
Does
looking
seem
for anything.
cold.
I'm looking for any drink that's close to a strawberry daiquiri. That's what I'm drinking.
Yeah, there's a pink one, an elderberry daiquiri. Almost the same
Shut
thing.
up, man. I almost like, are you wearing the hat right now, Scott?
We're all wearing it. It's a collective hat wearing.
Oh, man. Whew. Yeah. I'll drink that. Dwyn, you look like you enjoyed that drink quite well.
Yeah, it was really cold. And then she kind of was like, it's like they took snow or ice or something and made it real fine, and then put in what was it? What was the flavor like? Like I want to say it was sour, but it doesn't have to be.
Sure, sour.
It was really sour, like if you get like a sour apple, but then there's this good like sweet tanginess to it. I mean I don't recognize the fruit, but it was good.
Vesryn takes the straw and just drinks the whole thing quick. That way he can creep up on him later.
Yeah, you drink it pretty hard, and you guys you're all finishing the drinks. You realize it's been a while, and then you realize these drinks are a lot stronger than they seem. Like you're getting a little bit of a buzz from just one strong drink, it seems. Whoa.
Even Eslov's feeling it. Look at him. Morcant's feeling it just by being here with us.
Morcant, make me a perception check.
Perception?
Yep.
You muted yourself. Morcant, you muted yourself.
Oh, 19, sorry.
Oh, okay. So you're sitting there and you're watching them drink and everything, and you look over at the floor mirror that's nearest you, and something seems a little off in the reflection. You're not sure exactly what, but something.
Huh. So it's a mirror on the floor.
Yeah, it's a big floor, like a big, like full size
I
floor.
hope no one's wearing a dress.
And you can see the reflection of the room behind you. There's a few tapestries, a door, a statue. Some of your friends are in the foreground part of it, and things like that. And then you look back. Make me an investigation check.
Investigation now?
Yep. Something's different. Can you tell?
Oh. 15.
It dawns on you that the door in the mirror has a keyhole in it and a little lock area. But then when you look back at the door, there's no keyhole in it.
I just kind of want to go to the floor mirror and just casually just press my hand against it.
It's a mirror. Solid.
Everything's okay there, Morcant.
While they're drinking, I'll just kind of walk over and put my hand over where the keyhole would be.
You don't feel anything.
Is he drunk or are we?
Maybe they put something. Did he snack on anything? Did they put something in the snacks?
Should we be concerned, Morcant? Is everything okay?
I just am a bit confused by all the reflections. There's a keyhole there, but there isn't a keyhole here. I'm here, and I'm there, but there isn't a keyhole there.
Do we notice it when he points it out?
You do.
What?
Is the key still in the room?
Yeah, it's sitting on the desk next to the gem and near the papers and stuff.
There's that weird key.
I'll pick it up and I'll walk over to the mirror and I'll see if I can, put where it would be at the door on the mirror.
It clicks the mirror.
I'll go over to the door and see if the key activates anything there.
No?
Try putting the gem into the key in the top.
That's a good point. Take the gem.
There's resin.
Yeah, when you go to slide the gem in, it sort of slides into the space by itself, and it just floats in that hole. It doesn't quite touch the edges, but it seems like it's a perfect fit.
Oh. Good call, Morcant. And now I will go back to the mirror and try again. And if it doesn't, then I'll try on the door again. See if
And when you go to the mirror, where the hole is, it goes into the mirror. The key slips into the mirror like it's liquid.
I pull it back out. They did tell us to enjoy the art and look around. Do we look around or do we stop now?
No. I don't know what benefit we have to looking in a vault or whatever of someone else. We have no reason to be tearing through this woman's things.
I agree. She's been most gracious to us. But she does have that list. I'm just saying.
They're like, we need to
PC justification at its finest.
Yeah, no, right? Eslov, you've been quiet. What do you think? Put the key back for now?
So I've been like admiring these drinks that he's been having because he's never had alcohol that tastes like fruit before. It's always been alcohol that tastes like
Alcohol?
Spiciness, hot.
space.
Or beer.
Never mind, Eslov. I'll take the rock out or the stone back out and put the key and the stone back on the desk. I think we should wait as well. No reason to potentially piss off our hostess.
And just as you put the key down and the stone down, the door opens and Mama Bardusa comes in. I've been admiring the art. Maybe some of the tapestries.
Yes, the drinks are wonderful. Eslov has really enjoyed them.
Well, I'm sorry to say that your gnome friend, Master Eslov, has passed away.
What was the name again that I heard per se?
His name was Peric.
Yeah, Paris.
It's a shame to hear about Peric. Eslov's kind of let that one slip out.
You
You have been drinking.
I see. And she starts to look around a little bit. If you'd like, I think maybe it would be worth enjoying some time in the bistro, and I'll join you for dinner later on this evening. I do have other things to attend to because of this. I have to speak with the constable.
I do have a quick question. While I'm in town, I'm trying to search for my brother Clovis. Do you know who's good at finding people? Or my half-brother, that is.
Make me a persuasion check.
I want to gauge her reaction as well.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm looking at her reaction as well. So I want to see how she reacts to this.
16.
I am known for being able to find people that are missing. We can talk about hiring me for a service like that perhaps tomorrow, but I really do have to speak with the constable to have this taken care of tonight, if you don't mind.
Oh, by all means. I figured you knew a lot of people.
And she gave nothing away in her face.
I will, just to show her that she can trust us, I will point out as we're walking out. By the way, the stone, the key, the mirror, I love the magic there.
That's like a really out-of-pocket thing to say, but...
Yes, it was.
Thank you for reminding me. And she goes over and picks up the key and the stone and puts them into her pocket.
Yes, very wise to keep it on her. Other people other than us might not be trustworthy.
And she opens the door. I'll join you when I can this evening. Please enjoy the bistro, or if you wish to enjoy the rest of the grounds, they're open to you.
Yes. Can your butler answer some questions as well? Or is he disposed at the moment?
He's collecting the constable.
Thank you.
And she says at the end of the door, I'll walk you to the exit. She walks you down the hall. You get into the end of the hall. She touches some runes, and the door opens, and you're back into the main hall.
I wanted to ask before, but now that she's doing it again, I'm looking at the runes a little bit more closely this time. Now that I know they're there, is there anything I noticed with them, like from my arcanic knowledge?
Notice about what?
Like the runes, like what they might be, what kind of magic they might be.
They seem to. If you were to guess, you would guess that you were actually moving into and out of some kind of a pocket dimension.
Interesting. All right. It's been a pleasure. I look forward to speaking with you soon.
And she waits for you to get to leave and closes the door behind herself. And then she heads back in, and you guys are in the main room again by yourselves.
Well, is there anything we want to do for the rest of the day, or are we ready to... What time is it at this point?
I mean, you had your baths, you cleaned up. It's probably late afternoon, beginning of early evening.
We should probably, I mean, don't we have a few things back at the temple? Just a couple things to go get.
I mean, I brought all of my stuff with me. Is there anything we need to get there?
Oh, I thought we left our stuff there, but if we have it, then we don't need to go.
Well, our weapons and stuff are being held here because we can't. Take it
that's true.
Oh, I do need to check in at the Soul.
All right, let's go to the Soul. We have nothing but time to kill.
What town are we in again?
Like,
Withe. Yeah.
Is there a time that the baths close, or are they open all night?
Oh, they're open 24/7.
Did you say wide?
Yeah, Withe. W-H-Y-T-H-E.
We should look around. Well, first, I guess, yes, let's go to the Soul, talk to the Apanya there, and see if they know who Char is.
Okay.
And if not, then we need to figure out who this Char individual is.
So, I assume you're all going together? All right, and you go, and you knew where to go because the clerics to Mava told you more or less how to get there. you have to go further down from where you were down to the dock area, and when you get down there, the Soul, it looks very similar. It's a round building, but it's black. The rock is all black, and the wood is dropped out, and it looks like there was a fire there. Not yesterday or anything, just old. You don't know when.
oh, this appears to be in a bit of disrepair.
Yes.
Let's
Yeah.
see.
Is there anything I can do with like trying to? I don't have mend. I need to get mending. Maybe I can help
Feel
mend it
a lot
later.
of mending.
Yeah, but little by little. Just because I want to state for purposes in case something happens. I did collect my weapons when we left. My weapons and items. I don't know if everybody else did, but I took mine with me because I want to make sure I have them on me in case we need it.
Yeah, I would have just picked him up since we were going there anyway.
Absolutely, have mine.
So I'll head towards the door of the Soul, and I'll look for anyone that looks cleric-esque. And
All right. And there's no doors. It's just an opening. And the Soul is empty. And the inside is all burned out from the inside. Like there was a huge fire in here at some point.
doesn't appear to be too livable anymore. There's no sign of life.
Anybody walking around outside?
There are birds around out up in the rafter. What would have been the rafters, and now just burned husks of wood here and there.
Are there any victims?
No, it's not. It's not fresh.
Is there people walking around outside?
Bodies didn't need to be fresh either.
Yeah. There are people walking around in the, going back and forth to the port or to the docks.
people that don't look like they're, set sail and come in and just. I want to find somebody that looks like they live here, maybe
Sure.
work the
There's
dock.
merchants carrying stuff back into the port.
Excuse me, good sir.
Yeah. Yes.
Can you tell myself and my companions what happened to the soul here?
Oh, they had a great fire. Everybody died. Well, except the Apania, of course. They don't know where he is now.
When did this fire happen?
Must have been a few weeks or a month ago.
Where were we at this point? During that month ago.
You were probably on the ship.
Let's see. Yeah.
Okay.
It was when we were at sea. Right after we left. That's mighty convenient.
Don't like that.
Can I
I was going to ask the guy one more thing.
Ain't nobody like that. We've had terrible weather ever since then. The seas have been just atrocious.
Yes, well, I got to find that upon you. See if they can sort this out for you.
And he points at Morcant and he goes, "He looks like he could be the next upon you. He's got the symbol."
I mean, he might be able to say a prayer or two for you if you ask him kindly. But do you know an individual by the name of Char? I'll put in a good word with my friend.
No, never heard of no one named Char.
Insight check.
Okay.
I assist.
Sure.
All right, I'm there, right?
Yeah.
With 16, you said you assisted? Okay, then, yeah, 16. 16 is better.
Doesn't seem like he knows.
Okay. Thank you, my good man. I'll talk to my friend about maybe saying a couple prayers for you and your trips.
I'll talk to him. He's right there. Hey, could you say some prayers for the ships out there? You look like you're from Soul. You're from a Soul, just not this one, obviously. Thank you.
I'll be down with the docks later. Not a problem.
It's about time we got somebody from the real religion here. And he starts pushing his cart down.
I'll trail after him just a little bit. Do you happen to know how the fire started?
Nobody knows. They just went up in flames one night, all at once.
All at once. Huh. Thank you. Go back and.
Fires don't do that, by the way, unless they're magical.
Yeah, unless they're helped.
Yeah.
Well, they're all talking to the person. I'd like to look around to see if I can see anything that's out of the usual, or if I see it seems like some kind of divination magic is being used to hide what's really here.
So, as you're meandering through the husk, you see that the fire was most intense in the center and stayed intense all the way to the edges, and then it dropped off very quickly on the outside of the building. It feels like it was a real thing, but it looks like a bomb went off versus a fire. There are things pushed out, and stonework even was moved on the walls in some places.
Is it like the Soul where I come, where the fire pit is in the center of the room? Would
Yes.
that be the center where this fire came from?
Yes. That's the traditional building for backward temples. They're not all like that, but all eventually get like that if they get enough money together to build
Kind of build around a fire pit.
Yeah.
Wait, did he say it went up all at once?
Yeah, it went up all at once.
Is it magical?
Magical or otherwise accelerated.
I know magic doesn't always stick around, but occasionally there are traces of it. Maybe detect magic.
Close enough to hear them?
What?
Well, I thought we were doing this when you went inside. We were outside talking.
Yeah,
But-
I'm saying, can I hear? Well, I mean, the door's burnt down. There's not
That's
a
true.
lot
Oh,
I mean,
no. I mean, we're not being especially quiet, so probably.
I can hear you. I'm like, I was trying to it's like, well, it's quite obvious it was magic. I mean, the fire stops right at the end of the building. The stones appear to be pushed back, and it all centers right in the middle of the fire pit.
I'll go into casting Detect Magic as a ritual just to see if there's any lingering essence of what might have been the type of magic that caused this.
No. Too long ago for there to be anything residual.
I assumed.
Okay, well, we gotta... I mean, this... If it's magic, then... Do you think it's safe to assume that someone planned an attack on the soul?
Well, I mean, maybe the souls did it themselves, but more than likely it was an attack if people here died. I can't see themselves sacrificing themselves like that unless it's something very important.
Does the site look like it was cleaned up at all, Scott, or does it look like
Yeah, it
just
does.
happened? Okay.
Yeah, it looks like, there would have been bodies that are gone. There would have been personal effects. You don't see those in here. It looks like it was cleaned up.
All right.
Why didn't the other temple tell us about what happened to you?
It happened while you were on the ship.
No, the temple we were at, because we asked about the soul.
Mama.
They didn't say anything about this
They
fire.
didn't.
They're wanderers. They may have shown up one day before us, for all we know.
It's true. Possibly.
I also just asked about where it was, not the condition it was in.
That's also a fair statement.
It could have just been cheeky. She just kind of looks at... Well, who would have a beef with the soul out here?
There is one way to find out. Shall we head to the cemetery? And I'll pull out the Lucky Stone thing.
Yeah, let's go.
The one that was lost on the ship.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So-
I wasn't here for that.
Yeah. Lots of stuff was lost on the
Never
ship.
mind then. Never mind then. No more Lucky
Well, I guess
Stones.
we're not going to the cemetery.
No.
I'm not able to talk with the dead. Are any of you able to talk with the dead?
It's a very weird question to ask people.
No, I don't have that ability. I mean, the only thing I got is using a mask, but that's always risky.
I'll check my ranger spells to see if there's one that lets me talk to the dead.
Or we could just ask around where the Apania is, because
Ask around at the cemetery.
at the cemetery. Find a creepy groundsman.
Well, I thought you meant more in the vein of go knock on some gravestones and hope somebody floats up.
Let's see here. I'm trying to think what else.
Killed by 5 lynches.
Is there any? If we search around in there, is there anything else that might have been missed by anybody? Perhaps we should look around inside, a deeper look.
I'll give you investigation checks.
Sure. I'll help Vesryn. You can have a...
Oh,
I dropped my dice, but I got a nat
actually
one.
better. That went from a 9 to a 17. So 17 plus investigation 4. 21.
21.
Thank you.
Slav is still not
Yeah.
sober.
Morcant?
A bit too much of that
17.
funny drink.
17. And Eslov? I didn't hear you. What'd you get?
Natural 1. He had a bit too much of that funny drink.
Oh, yeah.
He
Yeah.
still has it.
Eslop's just walking around with it. This is great.
Somehow the parasol ended up stuck between his ear and his horn.
In his Jester Hat.
His Jester Hat.
Parasol, one horn, Jester Hat, the other.
Right.
Regular party animal.
So you're looking around, and very similar to the soul in Elixia, there's a basement. Unlike the basement in Elixia that has nothing in it, this one actually had it was a storeroom for food and stuff. most of that seemed to have spoiled, but it was left here. And while you're in there doing this work, you realize you find a sort of a passage at the back of the room that goes back into the ground, maybe 3 or 4 feet, and then it ends. But it ends and it widens at the end for a moment, and it's perfectly smooth like a door.
Do you see this?
Sort of passage.
I want to check it for traps first off and make sure there's not something there. As soon as I touch the walls and go or explode in my face. I mean, I'm not an expert at this, but let's see here. Investigation?
Sure.
Okay. 14.
You don't find any traps or anything, but it does appear to be locked in some way. But there's no doorknob that you see.
I would like to knock on the door and say, "Hello, I'm Morcant Van Amstel. I was sent here from the Soul and Phelan."
You guys just kind of looks at you
No,
like,
no answer.
did you really think that would work?
I mean, if I didn't try and it would have worked, I would have felt silly.
Fair enough. Anybody particularly good at picking locks?
What lock?
You said it's, I thought there was like a lock on it. You said it was locked, so I assumed there was like...
Smooth.
Would my detect magic still be up? Because I just cast it before.
Oh yeah, it would be. Yes, it is magically locked.
Magically locked.
Well, I can open it. It just will be real loud.
At this point, I'm not too worried about it. We're down below. We're in the basement of an abandoned building.
I could create a distraction that would satisfy the sound if you'd like.
Okay, because it's gonna sound.
Do you want to go upstairs and scream, "No, the soul"?
No, I want to, Scott, I would like to go upstairs and begin praying very, very loud using, what is it?
Thaumaturgy?
Thaumaturgy, so that everyone can hear my prayers to Akor to bless the weather and to bless the seas.
You're
and
awesome.
keep doing that so that the clash,
Clouds.
when it comes in, kind of is masked by the grand display of my love for Akor.
Yeah.
Yeah, the clouds start to roll in.
But can I volunteer him to get an inspiration for that? Because that was pretty smooth. I don't know if I can, but I am volunteering now.
I already have one.
Oh.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
So the cloud starts to roll in and the sky darkens. And then suddenly while you're down there you hear
Yes, I guess not.
and boom, the door pushes back and slides to the side. And
Morcant keeps going because he doesn't know what happened.
yeah, he's having too much fun anyway.
All the fire
Yep.
is thrown in the burnt ashes of the soul.
Yeah, it creates this black soot in the bottom from the rain. You're purging it of all this fire that shouldn't be in a building of stone like this. And
Do you want to get more count before we proceed?
I go back upstairs and look at Morcant, like ardently praying, and I'm like, I don't know if we can pull him away right now.
I amassed a crowd.
Oh, all right.
That is a good question. Have people come and to like see what's going on?
oh, he makes a little crowd and some of them cheer and some of them moan at the rain and thunder that's rolling in. But the ones coming from the docks and everything, they're like excited and happy. They're happy to see the rain come in. They're happy to see a storm and angry Cleric of Aquor, they're happy about it.
So when I see my friends coming up, I'm just gonna like calm down, turn to the crowd, and be like, "If anyone says the Aponia, let them know that I am here waiting," and then turn my back and begin walking away.
Okay. Nobody says anything, but they're all murmuring. You can kind of hear them kind of mumbling under their breath that like, "Oh my God, something about Aquor, something about storms. Finally, somebody's got some like guts to come here."
So you're a regular badass.
I may have caused so many problems that we don't know about. I'm excited.
But you know what? You hit our door opening. So
I hope there's nothing behind it.
I hope there is something behind it.
Find an empty cellar. Oh well.
Oh, that's pretty nutty.
So
It's literally
what are you doing downstairs?
I would say we're waiting for them to come back down, and when they come down, then I would proceed to open it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you come down, Morcant, Eslov's still down there with his parasol, and the door is cracked open.
We don't know what's beyond this door, so we need to be cautious. There may be something that they're protecting. There could be traps of some sort. So keep your eyes open.
Who knows? There may be a locked up succubus.
Could be.
Been there, done that.
One in every soul.
Right.
One in every soul. Oh man. And with that, I'll push the door open.
And when you push the door open, there's this cold wind that rolls out from the room. It's totally dark in there. And when it does, you really feel a presence.
Is there anything to cast light on in the room? Like, is there any like stones or something that
You can't see in the room. It's dark in there.
I can see in the room.
Oh, you can see in the room. You can see in the room.
I can't see anything. I can see nothing down here.
Actually, I'll have my staff in one hand and I'll light my staff with the light. Tap it and it lights up.
Okay.
Oh, that's better.
And when you do, there's a moment when the light flickers and it goes out. And when it does, you see this visage come out of the room in the shape of an ethereal priest of Aquor, cleric of Aquor. And you see through it. It has like ghostly edges to it. And it starts to reach for your light, your staff, your light source. And as it does, it goes past that and it tries to grab your hand. Can you give me an initiative roll?
Oh.
Nice. 13.
Just him or everyone?
Eslov's just still spinning the parasol. Oh, we're fighting.
Wait, Scott, are we all rolling or just Vesryn?
You're all rolling.
Okay.
Okay. 17.
I love fighting shadows.
Which is actually, I think, the highest initiative I've gotten in this campaign so far.
Ooh.
What'd you get,
Actually,
Morcant?
that's probably
That's
not
it.
true.
What?
6.
6. Cerridwen?
21.
Ooh.
Vesryn?
If I can get
16.
All right. Cerridwen, you see this spirit come out and it goes reaching for the light, and then its hand goes through the light and the staff, and you realize it's going for Vesryn and ignoring this physical object.
Okay, the only thing I really got is Dissonant Whispers, so I'll cast that on it.
Okay.
So it needs to make a
Yep.
Wisdom saving throw.
It makes its saving throw perfectly.
Okay. Well, I'll still take damage. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, there we go. Alright, so it takes half of 5 damage.
Okay, and
Oh, wait, sorry, 3d6. Okay, alright, not just 1. So that's 5 plus... Oh, 6 plus 3, so 14, so 7. Okay. 7 points.
and it feels that and turns to you as it's happening, and it suddenly becomes this massive, expanding, ghostly visage that starts to expand into the room. And I need everyone to make me a saving throw, a wisdom save against a 13.
Do not pass.
What'd you roll?
Lower than a 13. I don't know. It's a 9.
How much lower? Okay.
I got a 7.
Okay.
Nat 1 plus 4.
I rolled exactly a 13.
Oh wait, save. Nat 1 plus 7.
Okay. That one was 8. So. Okay. So Morcant and Cerridwen are frightened and need to try and evacuate the area as fast as you can. The other two are frightened
But
and can you each roll me?
I rolled a 13.
Wait, I'm sorry. The other two, the two that missed it by more than 5, but all of you are frightened, and because you all failed it.
I thought you said that.
Oh no!
13.
Oh, you said a 13. I'm sorry. You made
Yeah.
it. You're the only one. You're the only one that made it.
I was excited because I just made it.
Right. You're the only one that made it. The other two, the two who missed by more than 5, can you roll me a d4?
Hi.
4? Okay. So for each number that you just rolled, you feel your body age and bend you.
No.
And you feel this torturous pain as your skin sucks in, and you not only are you afraid, but you feel weakened and older
By 4 years?
by 40 years.
Oh, 4D.
40.
40.
Yes.
Okay. I was going to say, oh no, I'm 28 now.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say you aged me up like 2 years. I feel like I'd get stronger.
At least I'm a half elf. It doesn't make that big of a difference.
So I'm like 60 now.
Yeah. It was like,
What is
holy shit.
What is the life expectancy of a Dragonborne?
About 80.
Yeah, it's close to it. And it is a feeling that is more painful than any strike you've ever had against you from any weapon, obviously. Just this sudden aging. And
Do we see them age or just see them?
oh
age?
yeah, you see them both in pain and age, and they crumple in pain. And it's Eslov. What are you doing? And you're frightened, so you have the fright condition. You need to try and escape.
I will escape, but I will also at the same time make the ghost my favorite foe. That is all I can do.
Okay.
Is there a way out?
Yeah, you can go back out the way you came in.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
See you guys.
Vesryn, what are you
Good
doing?
luck. Have fun.
Seeing that this thing just did that to his friends and that they need to get out, and not sure if this thing can now leave freely because we've unlocked the door that's in, he's going to enter his blade song to try to like buy them time to pull out, and he's going to fight this thing. So I'm activating one of my blade songs, and I'm going to attack it with booming blade.
Okay.
So, yeah, let's see here. Blade song, blah, blah, blah. Plus 4 to my armor class. Yeah, I was just making sure I'm looking at everything again. And natural 17 plus 7.
Hits.
All right, so that's going to be 1d8. So with the rapier, it's 6 points, and then the booming blade, which is another d8, which is another 5 points for thunder damage. And if it moves, it takes another damage.
Okay.
And I will kind of push myself between them and it.
Okay. Morcant.
So is there anything that Morcant can run behind? Or is it just kind of...
There are barrels of rotted food and stuff that are still in here and things like that.
So Morcant will run...
Or the door.
Oh, no. Morcant will run and hide behind one of the barrels so that he breaks line of sight and kind of just like hutter into the fetal position a little bit.
Okay. So back at the top, Cerridwen.
So I see.
Scared.
I see my two friends age, and one bolt up the stairs, another one go and hide behind a barrel.
Yeah, and it's terrifying, this thing.
Yeah, and this ghostly visage of death. She can I try to get to Morcant? Because she's gonna try to like just haul him out.
You're right next to Morcant.
Oh, yeah. She's just gonna grab him and put him on her shoulder and try to just get out of there.
Okay. As you're fleeing with him in your hand, Morcant, or actually before we do that, wait, who are you taking out? Morcant? Right.
Yeah,
so he had gone past you. He was back to the back of the room.
Yeah. That's why I asked.
Yeah, when you get back there, you realize that this thing is now between you and the door. And it's going to be very hard for you to work up the muster. It'll take some time to work up the muster to exit the door.
Can I use Distant Whispers on him again?
No. Not
Okay.
while you're frightened.
Okay. Can I inspire someone?
Vesryn's still there.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Vesryn, you'll get some bardic inspiration.
Okay.
You see her just like, you hear her quietly start to like drum out like kind of like a battle beat, just to calm herself, but it works more for you.
Okay.
And Vesryn, can you make me a charisma save, please?
Okay.
Against a 13.
You can add your inspiration.
I made
to
it. 17 plus 2, 19.
Okay, and you feel this thing kind of surround your body and almost feel like it's trying to squeeze into you, and you are able to push it away from you. And it, surprised, stares back at you. Make me a perception check.
No. 5. That's
No,
9.
okay.
I don't,
All right.
I don't think that's good enough to see it.
All right. And 20. So you were at, it was at 20. Eslov, you're heading up the stairs.
I'm still scared.
Yeah, you'll be scared for a minute.
Ooh,
I keep going up the stairs, I guess.
Yeah.
no Eslov.
Vesryn.
Yeah.
He'll come to his senses once he gets 90 feet away, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Once he's out of the building and onto the street.
All right. Seeing
Wait
that
a second, I'm supposed to be in there.
seeing that Morcant ran into the room and now Dwin ran in too, now he can't turn and run. He's gonna have to like try to pull this thing away from the door so they can try to get out. So I'm going to try to get its attention. I'm going to attack it and kind of move to the side so kind of get it to follow me, hopefully, on its next turn so that they can try to get past. And I'm going to use Shadow Blade with a Booming Blade this time. So if I get hit, then I have to roll to see if I hold the concentration for Shadow Blade. That's going to be probably a miss because I rolled a 5 plus 7. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Does a 12 hit him?
That does hit.
It does. Oh,
Yep.
Okay.
It's an 11.
All right. So let's see here. 8. So the Shadow Blade. Sorry, I'm just looking at the spell. And because I didn't say, so I'll cast it at the lower level because I didn't state which level I was casting Shadow Blade at. So it'll be, I'll cast it at my second level. So that's going to be 2d8 for the Shadow Blade. 10 points, but it is, I believe, necrotic, so I don't know if that matters. No, it's psychic. Never mind.
Psychic, yep.
So it's 10 points of that, and then another d8, 13 points.
Nice.
And yeah, that's my move, and that's my action and bonus action.
Morcant.
So Morcant's going to grab his collar where he has his symbol of Akor. He's going to take a deep breath, say a little prayer, and cast Calm Emotion. So everyone within 20 feet can choose to fail a charisma save and have their frightenedness suppressed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to choose to fail.
I'm right next to you.
Yeah.
What you're doing. I'm like, yeah, I'll take that.
And then I'll just kind of step calmly now that I've kind of collected myself and look at the creature and just say, you appear to be like me, follower of Akor. What has happened to you? And that'll be my turn.
Okay. Back to the top 21, Cerridwen.
I'm gonna just sort of motion towards the door with Morcant. They're like, let's say you want to talk to it, but let's talk to it by the door. And she'll go to the door.
Make me a wisdom save.
Dirty 20.
You're able to move to the direction of the door.
Oh, the combinations didn't help?
It did. It allowed
me to
her
make a check.
to try.
Gotcha.
It's an extra
Man,
scary.
this thing is some badass, dude. Now I'm worried. Now I'm really worried. I'm looking around for Eslov, like, where the hell is this guy?
The spirit, while you're in front of it, Vesryn, reaches for you and it tries to grab you. What's your AC?
It is 20 right now. And then if he still hits me, I might cast shield.
It doesn't hit you. Doesn't get you.
Okay. I'm glad I put the song on.
Just out of curiosity, Morgan, did you also choose to fail the calm emotion?
I mean, yes. I mean, I would have, but I was fine.
Well, it's an effect that's on you to suppress any.
Oh, true. Good call, baby doll.
Eslov, you're heading up the stairs, and you feel this calm that's coming to you, and you can either choose to accept it and make a save to be able to return, or continue running.
Another bad save. This one is 10.
Oh, this is how Eslov's gonna die. It's so sad.
No,
You could have.
not taking more damage. Yeah, you slow down for a moment and think about going back, and then the fear overwhelms you again, and you get to the top of the stairs, and when you're up there, you see several of these clerics, or not clerics, these sailors and fishermen and stuff, and they're like, "Where's the Stormbringer? This is wonderful. This is wonderful." And they surround you. You're his friend. Where did he go?
I'm just like trying to shove past them to get away. I'm not even like, I don't even know if he hears them. If he has to knock a couple down, he will.
You probably do have to knock a couple out of your way. Like, just push them out of your way. You're not knocking them down necessarily. Okay. 21, Cerridwen. What are you doing with your calmed fear?
I'm just gonna go and I'm gonna go. Yeah, she's just gonna try to keep going towards the door.
Michael said, "It's okay. He's only going to die of old age." That was pretty fun. So you're going to keep going to the door. So you're at the door then. It's not that far.
All right, I'll go up and I'll tell Eslov. Can I get to Eslov?
Eslov is at the top of the stairs. You can kind of hear him scrambling through what seems to be a crowd of people.
Yeah. All right, I'll go to try to get to Eslov. Yeah, like can I use like my dash action to get to him, or
You can.
all right, yeah, I'll use my
because it's away from the spirit.
yeah, I'll use my dash action to find Eslov, and then I see people around and I'm like, clear out for now. We got some nasties down here. The Stormbringer is talking to it.
Oh, to what? To what?
A ghost? There's a ghost in the basement and he's talking to it.
The crowd starts spreading out, like getting thinner and like moving away from the area.
Yeah, so don't stick around. I don't know what's gonna happen.
And Eslov is like right there within reach of you, kind of pushing people out of the way.
Eslov.
Now is not the time.
All right.
We have to get away from that thing.
Well, we're out.
I only hope the other two can get out as well.
Well, then Morcant do his thing, and then if we have to, we'll drag him out.
I'm not going back in there.
Okay, it's fine. I can pull both of them out if I need to.
Okay.
Down in the cellar area, the creature disappears into the walls.
You never answered my friend's question. Why are you attacking us? He's one of you.
Make me a perception check. You and Morcant, both of you.
My perception checks are not rolling well tonight.
No.
You have your inspiration. You could use it on it.
It's true. It's a 10 right now. What's the inspiration die?
An 8.
8? Oh yeah. 12. I should have saved it for an attack roll, but it's fine.
Morcant is still collecting himself.
And the door, you see it slowly start to close back up. Like it's just moving super slow.
We gotta go. This one's going to move and try to push the door open, like see if we can keep it open for Morcant to get out.
Not the door to exit, the door to the little space that was at the back where the spirit had come out of.
Oh.
Can we see it? Or is it in total darkness?
It
still?
disappears into the wall, and then the door
No,
starts to...
Or that's opening, because I know the pathway was total darkness before.
You see the door itself. You don't see into it very much. But you can see the door itself starting to slowly move back into place.
With my speed, I'll rush over there to keep the door open.
Okay. Make me a perception check when you get to the door.
10.
Okay.
Roll another 6.
Okay, so you get to the door. Morcant, what are you doing?
I guess I'm also running to try and keep the door open.
And you get over there, and when you stand right where the door is starting to close, you can see into the darkness a little bit. And there's a small space in here. It's not very big at all. And there's a pedestal up to 4 feet high. And on it, there's some kind of a book. And while you're there, you both get attacked from the walls themselves. What's your AC, Morcant?
My AC, did I put my armor on or no?
Yeah, you have your armor.
18.
And Vesryn, you get hit unless you...
Shield.
Yeah. So shield will stop the hit. And
That's not even a
you
question for
see these spirit hands reach out from the walls and the doors. But not just one spirit. It seems like there may be others in there.
Is it my go?
It's your go.
I grab the rope of climbing, and I tell it to head towards what's on the pedestal.
It runs along the floor and crawls up the pedestal to the top of the pedestal.
And that's a bonus action, right?
Yeah.
Is it fastened, or do I have to wait till next turn for that?
Is it what?
Is it fastened to the thing, or do I wait till next turn to command it to fasten?
No, it'll fasten. You just...
Okay, so for my action, I'll rip it back.
Okay, you rip it back. You take and it's a book that lands in your hand. And the door continues closing.
We should go.
Back away with the book.
And hands reach out from the walls around the door. And you two head away. Head out.
He just gave us an evil artifact that your spirits were protecting.
Yeah, you just lassoed that.
If it's any consolation, if we find out it's evil, we can put it back in here, and I do have Arcane Lock, so we can secure it.
And you head out, and at the top you see Cerridwen and Eslov a little further away, trying to get away.
Yeah, Dwin is fastening the rope to herself and is about to go down, and she's like, "Oh, you're here, okay."
I don't know if he's still trying to get away.
He's not now. He's starting to pull himself together, and Morcant and you just look.
I'm immediately going to start casting Detect Magic to see what I sense on that book again.
Are they still old?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, not old, just less young.
She's just like, whoa.
You've aged ungracefully.
Gotta We gotta kill this ghost. This is unacceptable.
Morcant, do you have any idea what happened to you? That you, I should clarify, you've aged 40 years.
I've done what now?
She's like, pull out the sword and like use its reflective to like show you. This is your face now.
Do I know anything about that? And looking at the book, Scott, does it have any significance towards the Acor space that I would know what it is?
It has nothing written on the cover at all. And Morgan, it does not glow magical.
I don't sense any magic coming from it.
What's that bad boy open?
So you're all standing around looking at the book in the rain.
With a bunch of civilians really close to us.
Back away, please step back from the Stormbringer.
Yeah, let's go back to the summer where it's not raining.
Let's go back to the mama and open this book and raise hell in her place.
Yeah, we just. Well, that's not magical. What's the worst kind of non-magic book do?
That's funny.
Campaign ends.
I know, right?
Why don't we take a 5-minute break? I want to get something to drink, give some
Sure.
moment to think. We'll be right back, everybody. Give us a few.
All right. Well, just so you guys know, if this book is not in a language any of us can read, I can cast comprehend language. So.
Okay.
Why would you take that spell when we have Cerridwen that speaks every language?
Ready to deal with evil books.
Yeah.
And we're back. Thank you, everybody. We just ended up having a party that...
Definitely we're not talking about narcotics the entire time.
And there's a bunch of old people hanging out with a bunch of young people standing around a book in a storm.
Well, let's get out of the rain.
Yes, we should probably find some place that we can look at this book more safely.
I guess we'll go back to Mama and Barjusa's. We already got rooms there.
Maybe she has a back to help with our aging problem.
We could certainly ask. She did say we get free baths, so...
Sorry, Morcant, what did you say?
What did you say?
So you're heading back to Mama Bardusa's?
Yeah.
To the rooms? Okay.
It's a fun
I guess
question.
he's only 60, so.
How do Dragonborns age? That's my question.
They probably don't get wrinkles. Their scales probably will start to turn a different color, I would guess.
Yeah.
Maybe they get a little frayed.
Yeah. I'm guessing Dragonborn scales are a bit more... Well, they're not permanent because they do shed, I'm assuming, because they're reptiles. Are they reptiles?
They're dragons. Are
Well,
dragons
right.
They're-
really reptiles?
They're
but-
warm-blooded.
But in some like
Yeah.
fantasy settings, Dragonborns are mammals because they have mammary glands.
I would think lizard folk are reptiles. I would think Dragonborn are not reptiles. That dragons are more like maybe dinosaur, which have semi-warm blooded and
Let's just pretend.
I
they're
don't know.
people.
How weird.
Let's just not talk about memory glands. Stop looking at those.
I got mammary glands.
Did you say let's pretend they're people?
Well, no, that's not what I meant. But I mean, they are people, but let's pretend they're human. Like, I don't know. You get what I mean.
I know you meant, but it's just
Fuck
funny.
off.
Like you're playing a Dragonborn, and you're like, let's pretend they're people. Like,
I'm
damn,
not
dog.
I can't. I do not condone any sort of racism against Dragonborn individuals.
Or anyone else, for that matter.
No. He's just strictly Dragonborn.
Fuck the gnomes.
And you get back to Madame Bardusa's, and you enter the establishment. And
Also, Eslov is not fond of kenkus.
yeah, so weird. You had a good friend, Kenku. And Kirishel is
But they're weird, aren't they?
He doesn't like
Anyway.
kobolds either.
No, yeah, that's a good point. He really
It's
doesn't.
just a little racist. Gonna call
Anyway,
it.
this is a really weird tangent, so we should get off it as soon as possible.
It's all the drinks you had, and now you're old. You know, you're old and bitter towards the other
drunk
people.
racist.
Told you the other scale folk.
Yeah.
And
All
when you get into the room, you see Kirishel there, the security guard, the tall woman, and she turns to you, and she has a very mechanical motion to her almost. You have returned. Your weapons must be turned in. And she grabs a tray and brings it over towards you. And she puts the tray out for you to put your weapons on.
Put
Put my
we'll-
stuff on there.
Yeah, we'll put our stuff on the tray.
And she puts them on a cart, and you may continue to your rooms. Do you know where they are?
Do we?
I was like, do we? It sounds like we went down a couple hallways.
You remember it was the first door to the right when you came in, and at the end of the hall.
Magic
Perhaps.
room. So.
Perhaps, but we may need help making sure that we get to the right place.
I will get you assistance. And she turns like and starts moving the cart away.
Maybe she's a golem.
And a few minutes later, the butler comes in, and he sees you. Oh my! Something has happened to some
Yes,
of you.
They make contact with the wrong type of spirits.
Anything to reverse magically aged people?
Maybe the Miracell knows somebody. Let me find her and send her out. You can have a seat if you'd like.
Perhaps we can get in our rooms. Could you maybe show us to our rooms?
Yes, of course. And he heads down the first hall, and basically you go to the very end of the hall, and at the four doors on the end.
As we're watching, I want to do some light reading.
Can't even
Already opened it.
So when you open the book, this is a very weird language. There are words in here you recognize, here and there. And there are words that look like they're a weird compounding of words that you recognize, maybe. And then some words that you don't recognize at all. But it's not like the old language that you had seen. It's different than that. But there's definitely some words in here you recognize, and the book looks old, the pages are frayed, some of the pages are missing, the paper doesn't even look like normal paper. Weird.
Human flesh.
Cerridwen, this is really more of your thing. The book wide open and hand it over to you.
Yeah, here, read this evil book.
We don't know that it's evil.
We're going to
Yeah,
find
not
out.
yet.
You're going to learn today.
Take a crack at it. Try to determine if it's like a combination of languages or if it's like a dialect or something.
It looks like there's some dialect in it with the words that you know, but there's also a bunch of words that you don't recognize, and a fair number that you think you recognize, sort of, maybe partially.
Yeah, like I recognize the root of the word or something.
Yeah, right.
Oh, I can only make out some of it. Some of these words I don't know. What's dictionary or something.
Perhaps you and I could work together to figure this out.
Yeah. That's a very good one. Just like holding it out and looking at it, like a little like frustrated that she like can't understand it.
When we get to our rooms, Vesryn will ritual cast comprehend languages,
Okay.
and then hopefully combining that with all her languages she knows, maybe we can get this sorted.
Hold on, I want to look something up on that spell. Hold on a second.
It doesn't decode secret messages.
I understand that. No, there's something I want to know that I just thought of. Not a spell I ever look up because it's pretty so basic. Okay. Okay. So, as you're running your hands over it and you're thinking about it and trying to read it out loud with Cerridwen, you're able to decipher. First, the book is called Reveus Asunder. You've heard the name Reveus somewhere. And This book seems to be either a history or a storybook about a tearing of a part of the world and it disappearing from the face of the world, just gone, vanishes. And in its place, the seas filled in the hole where this land was. And it seems to be a third-party account of this that has been told and written down. But what's weird is it's not the ancient language, that for sure. But you don't know what the languages are for the words that you don't recognize. That they don't seem to be any languages that you've seen anywhere. It seems to be rooted though in your in common.
So it's like probably from an age when certain words didn't mean what they mean now, kind of thing. Or words for things that we don't know.
Yeah, words for things you don't know.
So this is a very interesting book.
Very old. No.
It speaks of something that was ripped and gone.
I mean, it sounds like a whole continent was taken up and just gone.
Can we tell in the book like what part of the world that it might have been? Does it give you enough information to kind of get an idea of where what disappeared, where it had been at? Does it seem like it was ripped away from the story? Or does it seem like it sunk into the sea, like Atlantis kind of thing?
No, it feels like it was ripped away from the world. And just...
Does it tell us, like, where it went, or just that it was taken?
As you go deeper and deeper into the book, you do find the name Elixia in there. And some sentence in there around Elixia suggests that Elixia was protected from the tear.
That's odd.
Oh, this is certainly something. Protected. This is called Reveus.
Reveus Asunda. It sounds familiar.
I've heard Reveus somewhere.
I feel like I have as well, but I'm not quite sure.
And the door, you hear a knocking at the door.
Yeah.
I put the book away.
Okay.
We don't necessarily want anyone else to see this book until we know what it is or what it means. And then once the book is like hidden away, yes.
And the butler comes in, and behind him is Madame Bardusa. Oh my. This is serious. Whatever happened to you?
Akor's not happy with how his soul has been treated. We were trying to fix the problem.
Run
Well.
into some nasties that turns out can make people like this.
I kind of feel like a 60-year-old half-elf is in the prime of his life. So
I'm feeling great.
He just looks less young and like more well-distinguished. Like he doesn't look old yet.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. Feeling pretty good. It's not Eslov's problem.
Yeah, Eslov, on the other hand, looks kind of terrible. His back is hunched. He's like limping a little bit. He talks like this. He talks like that.
Let me see if I can find someone that can assist with this. I don't think that my baths will undo this type of damage.
Greatly appreciate that. If there's anything we can do in return, please let us know.
This may cost you the casting of spells that can reverse this kind of damage can be very expensive, and it's not me who's doing it. I can't
Don't worry, my friend is very rich, and I'll point to.
I'm sorry, Sonny. What did you say? What are you speaking of?
Point to Vesryn.
That is not true. If I was rich, I wouldn't be
I'll
out here
manage.
adventuring. If I was rich, I wouldn't be out here adventuring, risking my life for money. I don't want them to come here.
He only does it for honor.
And glory.
And she leaves and the butler leaves. Oh.
Well, I was going to say before she leaves, by the way, is there any particular baths that are good for, like, a familiar? And I'll summon Soul on my shoulder.
Are there any what for a familiar?
Baths that would be particularly good for a familiar to enjoy. Soul is part of our little group, and I'd love for her to be able to enjoy it as well.
Your companion can share the bath with you.
I just didn't know if there's a particular that'd be better for her.
I'm afraid you've reached a limit to which I have not addressed.
Oh, there's a market for it. Think about it. Wizards would pay good coin to.
A market of one at least.
True enough.
I'll return shortly.
Well, old men, I would say, whether the baths can help you or not, you should probably go rest those old achy joints in them. Well, you, Morcant, you look fabulous. You look like you're in your prime.
Yeah, I've never felt this good. I'm just really centered. You know what I mean?
Completely. Eslov should probably go back into that unicorn bath and see if it does anything at all to help it. Is that a joke? Oh, you have the hat on.
He like touches the top of his head, and there's a bunch of dandruff that comes falling down.
No. Couple scales fall off.
Scale mites.
Eslov has crabs.
Well, you already had a crab.
Well, he does have a crab. Did the crab get olded?
No.
The beard.
It'd be dead.
Its intelligence was below 4.
How do you know?
That's
So
true. I don't.
Crabs are biologically immortal. That's actually not real.
I've been.
Jellyfish are.
I've looked at. Well, I've tried to look at how lizards age, and they just get slower. That's it. They just get slower and bigger. They get bigger and slower, and they want to sunbathe more often. But you're warm-blooded, so.
I'm guessing he's just slower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need a fast Eslov, not a slow Eslov.
Oh, there's nothing I can do.
Also, I've been combing my notes for Reveus.
Reveus Asunder, maybe?
Yeah. I know we've heard Reveus, and I'm like, I guess I didn't write it, because I went all the way back to the ostrich thing.
Taliesin was in a place called Reveus.
That's a town.
It's a place. You don't know whether it was a town or not, but that was...
It's a place. Okay.
Perhaps we can ask if they know of any place called Reveus.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe not. Maybe not the madam. Perhaps somebody else that works here.
Yeah. Yeah, we can ask someone else.
And after maybe an hour or so, the Mama Bardusa comes in. She says, I'll have assistance to clear these concerns with you in the morning. It will cost you each 100 gold pieces that needs the service.
How much did we pay for the baths? Because I feel like
I don't know how many.
Go ahead,
Okay,
sorry.
good. No, I was just gonna say I don't know how much gold I have.
10.
Wow.
They were 10 each, except the 25 for the unicorn math.
Because I was going to add that back on there. Because I haven't added it back. It was 25 and then 10, 10, 10. All right. Because I
25.
deducted last week.
10, 10, 10. So 25 plus 30. That's 30, 75.
I could pay for you guys if you guys can't pay for yourselves. I can help pay for it.
Morcant doesn't really need it like Eslov does. If we want to save the 100 gold,
Ooh. For some reason, that was not right.
I mean, I just need to be a bit more mature Morcant than immature like my way or that's it Morcant.
That sounds like a big change.
Yeah.
It's 40 years worth of change, and the question is like, is aging is it as you mature, as you get older, is it because of the society around you and your experiences, or is it something to do with biologically and your age? Right?
Mhm.
So I don't know if you would get more mature or if you would just be immature and older.
I think
You could take a
physically
page out of
age.
Big with Tom
What?
Hanks.
Big
Take a page out of Big with Tom Hanks.
Big with Tom Hanks, okay.
If I have enough coin to pay, but if you guys want to chip in, it would be helpful. So that way I'm not spending flat 200 on both of you.
I lost all my gold in the shipwreck.
Oh.
But,
Well, no, because we got more gold inside that thing when we fought the dragon things. Everybody got
Yeah,
some
but
gold.
he didn't pick any up.
Well, no, but
Morcant
we
did not
split it
take
up.
any.
Oh, okay. I thought we split it up.
I was
Oh,
literally
if only we had
zero
walked by a cave full of gold. And was just gonna like hand over like, oh, here's 100 in here.
And then I'll do 100.
Is it worth it for Morcant though? Like, because 30
Give me
years
life.
to a half elf.
Do it.
Okay.
Twin would do it.
We're doing it anyways. We're paying for it. All right, I'm subtracting 100 off. 3,010, just 100.
I suggest then until the morning you get some rest. The bistro is open if you'd like to eat, and we can then. Is my cat trying to jump up here? It is. And then we'll meet in the morning. I'd rather us.
I think Morcant wants to, the more mature Morcant wants to be able to. I didn't really notice before, madam, but you are quite striking.
Who's he hitting on?
The madam.
Oh, the madam.
It's Mistriel, not Madam. This is not a brothel.
Oh.
My apologies, Mr. L.
But thank you for the compliment.
I think I was about to say my apologies, ma'am.
I can't keep trying to come up here.
We want to keep looking at this book. After she left, I would say, right?
She left. You have some time.
Yeah. Do you want to look at this book some more? Otherwise, I might go and take Soul to enjoy the baths before we eat.
Yeah, I'll pour over it some more.
Then I'll assist, and I'll cast Comprehend Languages again after an hour has gone by, just to keep helping look through the book to see if there's anything else about Elixia or anything else that catches our eye.
Elixia is just mentioned in passing, but this sounds like the story about a battle between the gods, and part of the world was torn away from it.
Torn asunder.
But nobody knows where it went.
Do we know why it was taken?
It doesn't answer that.
Okay, so a portion of land was taken. We don't know how or why, but it was.
And Elixia was protected.
Yeah, so we can infer that Elixia was part of this land at one point.
Elixia was on an island, maybe.
Yeah. But we know what happened so long ago that the ancient Elixian, it predates ancient Elixian.
But here's the next question. Why would this book be locked away inside of a soul protected by very powerful spirits? It's not magical?
I guess it's something I don't want people to know.
But why? I mean, there's nothing in it that is like earth-shattering, as in gods are fake or anything like that. Like, I mean, why hide this?
I mean, a land that's missing is kind of earth-shattering.
I mean,
I can't tell.
are you wearing the Jester Hat?
Are you wearing that?
It is, yes. I just meant as in, why hide it? Is it earth-shattering information to be hidden from?
I mean, it's contradictory to what we understand as history.
For some people, it could be pretty crazy.
I guess. Well, Morcant, what do you want to do with this book? I mean, this is from a soul. Do you think it should be locked away, or should we keep it and see if it has any other pertinent information down the road?
I mean, for me, this would just, if I was back home in Phelan, this would just go straight into the library. There would be no reason for the protection it had here. I really hope that my message of the people who saw me gets to the Kanye and they come to find me. And perhaps we can inquire as to why this was stored in such a way.
Fair enough. I'll leave the book in either yours, since it's from the soul, or in Cerridwen's care. I would rather not be responsible for it unless neither one of you want to hold on to it.
Cerridwen, as a historian, I'm sure it has much more value to me to you than it does to me.
I can hang on to it. She'll just take it and put it in her bag.
And any of the notes that I did from transcribing, I'll give to her, so that way she has them for the purposes of looking through it again.
Yeah, she'll take them and compile them with her own notes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to go enjoy the Baths with Soul, and then I'll see you guys for Bistro.
Yes, and if one of us can find out where Wolf's Run is, perhaps we need to investigate that.
That was the location with the red door, right?
That was the location where one of the artists died.
What was I can't remember off the top of my head. What was the name of that place that couple told us about? That might be the red door place. Because it's been like 3 weeks since we played, so I don't remember. Remember
They were the fruit couple, right?
Yeah, the fruit couple, and they told us about a place that may match the description of where Taliesin had been in that vision you had. It was.
Isn't that where we are?
No, this is where we were going when we found out about that place.
Right?
It was like some type of bar or something.
Oh, the cantina.
Yeah, the cantina. That's right. Cece's.
Yep, Cece's Cantina.
Oh yeah, we can go to Cece's Cantina.
Well, no, that was the place that the people told us about at the temple.
Oh, okay.
The temple told us about the cantina.
They might have both talked about the cantina.
Maybe.
Orlena runs the cantina. The lunatics told us about Orlena, who runs the cantina.
Yeah, and then the couple told us about a different place.
Yeah, I didn't write that one down.
I remember it, but I don't remember the place. I remember that it was a different location, because we were going to go to Cece's, and then they told us about another place with a red door. Whatever. Huh?
Alright.
And that's not the baths.
No, because it was like some type of gambling place.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll see you guys in a bit.
Okay.
So you go bathe with Soul.
Give Soul a proper bath. She deserves it. She's done a lot of stuff for our group.
And what are you guys, the rest of you, doing through the evening?
I'm going to go down to the docks and start blessing ships.
Okay.
Feeling old, I guess.
Yeah, watch the Matlock, put some bending.
Go to bed early.
Knight Rider.
Yo, seriously, Knight Rider had the best theme song ever.
I don't know.
I
DuckTales.
don't know.
Dwayne will go to find a store where she can, like, she'll try to find a place that she can buy just, like, paper and, like, notebooks. Because she doesn't have those things anymore.
Okay.
I guess I reminisce on the good old days.
Yeah,
Sit out.
I'll go to
Dwayne, if you tell me about it, Dwayne, I'll probably go with you as well to get paper. But just let me know. I didn't
Way
know
back
shopping.
earlier today.
we'll go to Eslov and say, do you want to go to the cantina? Or do you want to... Do you want to go to the cantina?
Please, not so loud.
Do you want to go to the cantina?
What's that?
She just throws her hand in defeat. And she'll just poke her head in the bath and she's like, I'm going to the store to get paper. If you want any paper.
Actually, we're about finished up. I'll go with you. Wouldn't mind picking up some as well.
And you're directed by somebody, probably the butler can tell you where there's a shop for stationery.
Does it have high quality paper as well?
Yes. This is an island full of artists. If there's one thing you can get here that's quality, it's the paper.
Yeah.
And the ink.
Yeah.
Yes, which I need both.
Okay, go supplies.
Well, it's almost like a shopping date.
Yeah. Just you and me.
Yes.
On a
It'll be fun.
date.
2 scholars going to buy paper and ink. This will be a great day. Let's go.
Yeah. Are the stars out? Is it night?
Of course, the storm has parted and left just the stars in the east.
Like, stars are nice.
Oh, yes, I didn't even notice. Are you into stars like Eslov?
Well, I can't navigate by them, but I like them.
Yeah, they are very nice. Should we keep going?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, still like reeling from the date comment. Yeah.
And he's completely oblivious. He just said it like, like 2 friends going on like a shopping date. Let's go, like.
Did you like your bath?
Oh,
so like the bath. That's really
So, did you enjoy the bath? So.
You're Phoenix.
Yes. I believe she did quite enjoy it. I mostly just went in there for her, so I felt kind of like I robbed her earlier when we were doing it. I mean, she deserves it. She goes through all kinds of things for us. So.
And like a couple more awkward moments, just like, at least for her that's awkward, she's quiet.
Yeah, he like, why are you so quiet? You're usually not this quiet. What, is everything okay?
Oh yeah, I'm fine. I'm just thinking about this book and stuff. Like stuff.
Oh, you must be worried about Taliesin, yes?
Yeah, worried about Taliesin. We got all these people looking for him. I don't know what they want with him. I don't know where he is. I don't know a lot of things.
There's a lot of things none of us know. I mean, that's part of life, right? But we will find your son. We will find my nephew. We will bring him home. We'll do our best if he wants to come home, that is. I still think it should be his choice in the end.
She kind of like scratches her head. Yeah, hey, I have reservations having to meet your father, as I would for anyone, but yeah, particularly Taliesin. But he did seem excited, which I didn't really see that one coming.
You never tell with my father. Sometimes the excitement is genuine, sometimes it's political. You know, he lost his eldest son, who's supposed to take over once he's gone, and then he found out that that son bared a son as well. I mean, he could be just generally happy that there's still some part of my brother left in this world, or maybe he sees it as a way to maintain control on the island. I cannot speak for my father. I do not know what his mind was thinking, but he was very adamant about securing you as a legitimate to our family. That was random, wanting us to get married. It's just weird.
She looks away.
I mean, not that
what are you trying to say, Vesryn?
No, not that you're not beautiful. You are absolutely stunning. I just mean that, you know, you and my brother, you had a relationship, you had a son. It's kind of awkward to immediately assume that we should just tie the knot and run off in the sunset. I mean, there's a whole lot of complexity there.
Well, sunsets too.
What was that?
And that's a lot to unpack. I don't know. I didn't see Eldrin for 30 years. I mean, when he died, it was weird, but it wasn't, you know, terrible as I thought it would be. Because in a lot of ways, I had already said goodbye.
I understand. I mean, I had seen him, but we were so estranged at the point that I lost him. It wasn't as difficult for me as it should have been, I guess.
In a lot of ways, he already died by the time we found him.
I guess.
Yeah. You know, if he's taken by demons, then he's not really himself anymore now, is he?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, enough of this gloomy talk. Let's get some paper, and let's go and continue our search for your son.
Yeah, paper. You probably need some.
Yes. If I'm going to transcribe information from your father's book, yes, I'm going to need paperwork for that.
And she'll just like generally strike up a conversation about how he adds pages to his spellbook. She's actually be kind of interested in that. How do you do that? Do you unbind it?
Yeah, yes, you do some unbinding, and then I just go into that, and we continue on our way to the store.
Okay. What are you doing, Eslov and Morcant?
Eslov's old. I don't think he's doing much of any. I don't think he's doing much of anything.
Morcant, anything?
Morcant, on the other hand, in the prime of his life, is
you're going to
blessing
the ships
and making friends.
Yeah, you get down to the docks, and
it's highly sociable,
and it pays off well with the people down there who it seems like they were missing having somebody protect the ships and the harbor. You know, with the burning of the burning of the soul and everyone dying, they felt disconnected from their beliefs.
So as I'm blessing the ships and talking with people, I want to like casually just try and get a little bit of information on what happened to the Apanya and where they may be.
Oh, nobody knows what happened to the Apanya. He was when the soul went up. He was not there, and there's been some investigation to try and find him, but to no avail at the moment.
And is there anyone in particular leading that investigation?
Yes, Venus.
And, you know, as I talk to people casually, I want to kind of inquire on who a Venus is.
And you, through the conversations, you find out that it's a Shandao who is an investigator. He is hired to do investigations in Wythe.
And do I know where he's, like, located? Like, can I
And
find him?
someone will tell you where his office is.
Is it near the docks?
It's not far from the docks.
I think I'll head there before I head back.
Okay. And you get to this building. It's a standalone building. And there's a door on it. And there's a handle, but there's no signage or anything. Even though it's an office, not a home. And when you look around, you realize it's a weird building in that there's no windows either. There's literally a door. And oddly, out of nowhere, a window appears in the stone. And you see someone look out that you recognize as the Shandao you had seen in the bathhouse. And
It was kind of doozy.
and a curtain closes and the window disappears and the door opens. You are the cleric from Akor, correct?
I am. Would you like to talk out here in the open, or shall I step in?
No, come in, of course. And he looks around you. I was wondering how long it would take for you to find me.
I work quickly. How long have you been expecting me?
I wouldn't say expecting, but I knew eventually you'd find your way here when you'd found out what had happened with the soul.
Yes, and where are the others?
The others? You mean the other clerics?
Of course.
They're in the ground.
In the Apania?
I'm trying to find him.
So you're not hiding them then?
No. But I think that where you were today is where he's hiding.
Well, that would be convenient then, since I have a room. What were you doing with the stone and the key? What was your goal?
I've heard that if you can get to the Mistrael's keys, that there are ways to traverse her facility to places that you can't otherwise get to. And the gnome, he said he knew how.
Fascinating.
And now, what?
What will you do once she finds you?
Oh, I'm concerned now that she's going to think that I'm to blame for the gnome.
Are you not?
I'm not. But I'm an easy blame since I was there and I was trying to find the gnome and get the keys that I needed, the key I needed.
Then why was the gnome there?
The gnome, I believe, was hired to steal gems from the Mistral because they contain magics that others want. And that particular gnome was known as what's the right word? A second story person, perhaps?
Do you believe the Eponier of this area is being held there captive or freely?
I don't know. The only reason that I would suspect it is nobody goes missing in Wythe without the Mistral knowing about it or assisting in it. And she doesn't know anything about it, so I'm going to assume that she's assisting it. Whether it's willing on his part, on the Eponia's part or not, I don't know yet. But there were, and he goes over to, he has a little desk, and he starts counting. He goes, well, there were, let's see. Oh, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 14 dead in that soul.
Tragic.
Of the clerics. There were also people not of the church that were there doing the things people do in churches. Not in church, in the soul. Doing what people do in the souls.
Do we have an idea of who would have attacked the soul?
No, I cleaned out the place trying to find any clues. I scoured it, and the place was clean as far as I could tell.
Very troubling.
It was definitely. I'm very sure it was not natural fire.
Of
It
course
happened
not.
too suddenly and with too much force.
I find it hard to believe that a soul would be taken down so easily. Whoever did it must have been quite powerful as well.
Yeah. And after this time, I still don't feel like I'm much closer to understanding the reasoning for it at all. And I'm not sure I'm even that much closer to finding the Eponier. Everything tells me he's somewhere in the bathhouse. But that place it's beyond tough to understand how to navigate it.
Yes, the rune system that allows you to go from room to room is definitely not something of this kind. But I think I've created a good rapport within there. Perhaps I can be more diplomatic.
If you can make some headway, I would love to share notes, as they say.
Yes, any information you give me would be great, but I also kind of recommend you leave town because the only use I have of you is to turn you in to gain more favor, and I don't think you would enjoy that very much.
I'm not leaving town.
All right, then.
But you know where to find me. I won't be here very frequently, but I will occasionally come back.
It was great meeting you. Anything you could tell me now would be most helpful.
Well, the soul went up in a matter of minutes. It was like nothing we'd ever seen in the town here.
And none of the clerics were out blessing ships. They were all in at the time?
They were in because it was when the festivals of Mava happen, the clerics tend to stay indoors and avoid the crowds. It's unpleasant to them.
They're
At
very
least
different
here.
at home.
It is. They are very different everywhere
Really?
except here.
All over that.
I don't know where you're from, but I do know that it's different from everywhere I've heard of them. And whoever did it, they had to know that they would all be there and probably assumed that the Apania was there too. But the Apania was not there.
Is
Or
the
at least-
Apania
Or at least the body was not found, so I don't believe that the Apania was there. I didn't hear you. What'd you say?
Was the Apania enjoying the festival?
I don't know. There were nobody that I've spoken to has said that the Apania was participating. That doesn't mean that's not what happened. But because some people in this town aren't completely forthcoming, and some people in this town during that festival are particularly unsensitive to things they see. Having made use of mushrooms that are magical, various kinds of poisons that, if taken in smaller doses, have
Yes, they like drugs. I get it.
well, I'm not sure what a drug is, but they do like those things. They do like to participate in things that alter their minds beyond what alcohol does, liquor. So everybody seems to be an unreliable source at the moment. But I'm sure somebody was not participating that had eyes in the area.
Thank you. You've been quite helpful. I do have one more question before I go, though. There's another name I came across. Do you know who Char is?
Where did you come across that name?
I've traveled pretty far, and I've heard quite a bit of names, but it seems relevant, even more so now.
Oh. If you're wise, you'll stay away from that one.
I think you'll find I am not very wise at all. Who's Char?
She is a hag that lives outside the city in the mountainside.
A hag is in a fey creature, or just someone who's not very pleasant?
A fey creature.
Does she deal with mortals often, or not really?
I'm not even sure she's still alive, but there was a time when I was young that I was told she was still there. People don't go searching for Char.
All right, thank you. And I'm sorry. Good luck. And then I'll take off.
And you head out. And about the time you're heading out, you bump into Vesryn and Cerridwen on their way back to the bathhouse. And they're laughing and smiling and bump a shoulder here or there.
Cerridwen, Vesryn, I have news.
Yeah?
The Apania may be a guest and or prisoner in the current bathhouse we are in.
Is he
And
doing
also, I found out who Char is. It's a fellow Fae. She is a hag out in the swamp who may or may not be dead.
You've been busy. I'm quite impressed.
I just had a lovely stroll along the docks.
Yeah, that's a great place to start.
Well, we've been busy too. We have paper.
They hold up bags. Got paper. Yeah, I gotta start
I'm
for
glad
Coventry
you have
again.
made great progress this evening. But yes, I do think things may get tricky here in a moment. But let's take care of fixing Eslov. Get him back fighting fit.
If we speak with the madam, I don't think we should bring any of this up yet. We want to wait until we get you both back to your normal ages first.
Yes, that definitely first. I do have a plan. It may not be the friendliest of plans, but it may be a better diplomatic option.
Do tell.
I found Scott, what's the name of the four-armed race? My apologies.
Shandao.
I found the Shandao, what she's looking for. Perhaps I can win a little more favor by turning them in, and then inquire as to any knowledge they may have about the Apane in the area.
It's not a bad idea, but what if the madam is much eviler than we thought, and we just hand over this person to who knows what ends?
Yes, this is why we need Eslov back in fighting fit.
So we can bust him out if we need to.
Yes. I did discreetly warn him of my intent to do this. So, and said perhaps they should leave town, and they seem pretty persistent to stay. And their home is fairly well protected.
Well, I mean,
I don't understand.
If the Shandao's innocent, it would make sense for them not to run. I mean, if they run, then they look guilty, and there's no
I
coming
don't
back.
know that they are particularly innocent. Their intent was to steal the key and the stone and go through the doors in order to find the Apane. So they definitely were there to steal.
Yes. If they admitted freely to that crime, but denied killing the gnome, it would make sense for them to kill the gnome, would it? I mean, I guess if the gnome was going to
Not really.
rat them out, maybe, but other than that, I can't imagine why.
I wouldn't assume murder, honestly, from the interaction we had. And really, if the madam is the one doing the killing, which is the most evil path I believe she's on, we just have to, be there to prevent it. I mean, it's all about creating the bond and the friendship to get the information, because the only person that knows what happened in the fire is the Apane, and the only other person who may know what happened to your child is Char, and I'm not too sure how much you want to make deals with hags at this point.
Do I just kind of squint into the distance,
Now, how much general knowledge is there about hags in this universe? Are they common enough that this conversation isn't super crazy?
No, they're rare and scary as fuck. That people do not want to deal with hags if they can help it, and most of the time people don't even realize they are dealing with hags when they are.
Okay.
Hear me out. From what I understood, there was a deal made with Faye for Taliesin's safety, correct?
Yeah, that happened.
What if Char was connected to that deal? Char may be our connection to Taliesin. We may, whether we want to or not, may have to be making some type of conversations with this particular hag.
No matter what we decide to do, we do need to clue Eslov into what's happening.
100%. We need to get him on board and get him in fighting shape. No more Matlock for him.
What's Eslov doing?
He's probably stumbling around.
He's sleeping.
And he's probably stumbling. He's probably using his axe as a walking stick at this point.
Squinting into the mirrors.
Who
Seeing
are
what he
you?
looks like.
What are you doing in my room?
Dementia.
Oh, damn. So
Found some bunny slippers. Who knows?
some bunny slippers.
Yeah, you get back and you find him being old.
There's one other thing I want to say. I know we're making a lot of assumptions about none of us, but Bardusa, she seemed to be. I mean, it doesn't make sense for her to kill the gnome and then have her men come in and she genuinely looks shocked.
I think it was an accident. Or there's another party at play. I mean,
Perhaps another party.
I think she's more of like a neutral force. Like, I think people just kind of hire her to grease the wheels, so to speak. You know, like she gets things kind of going, but doesn't ask questions. You know.
Yeah. Perhaps we suggest tomorrow, after the healing, that if she happens to know where the Apanya is, that it would be very vital that if she can find him, that you speak with him. And in that way she can relay the message to him if he's just a guest there. I mean, it's worth just initial before assuming she's holding him hostage.
Yes, and her willingness to help us is probably most based on rapport, which is why I considered turning in the Shandao to let her know that we are very gracious for all she has offered to us at this point.
I say we keep it in the back pocket. Maybe not lead with that. Let's see where our conversations lead first. That's my thoughts, but you know, it's your choice at the end of the day.
I'd rather not endanger, some random person. But
Potentially,
we have to. We have to,
And you realize you've been talking through the night discussing this, and there's a knock on the door.
Did we make it back?
Yeah, you're back. You've been back for a while. I'm assuming you're still talking about this because it's complicated. And there's a knock on the door.
Who is it? Is that Bob?
No, it's
Are you guys in there? Oh shit, Eslov, come on.
When did you leave Eslov?
it's Taro. I'm the butler.
Yes, Taro?
If you are going to be ready soon, we have the necessary ingredients to complete this task to de-age your compatriots. If you're ready for it.
Eslov, are you ready to be de-aged?
He walks in with his cane, and he just looks around.
I don't think he's ready.
And then he stops. He looks at Cerridwen. He's like, "You kind of look like Ylva."
I look like who?
Ylva.
Ylva? Ylva? Who's Ylva?
What?
Do you want your bath or not?
Oh, yeah, I think I need one.
Yeah, let's get him in. I can't take this long ago.
You hop in there too. Yes, you're in your prime, but you have plenty of years to get to your prime. Let's not jump to it so fast. Enjoy your youth.
Right.
And
Plus, we paid for this.
yeah, you paid for this.
Also, yeah, pushes him in.
And a few minutes after the butler's there, this woman comes in who is wearing the symbol of Mava. And she says, the spell is prepared if you are ready. Who will be first?
My friend here needs it far more than I do.
And
I know that bad. Just to clarify, we're paying for a de-aging process, not a further aging process, correct?
correct.
We want him younger, not older.
I'm casting something. You may not understand it, but your friend here, being a cleric, would. It's called Greater Restoration.
I've read about that spells, those magic. Understand how they work. Okay. A little insulted that they would assume I didn't know how magic worked. Even if it is clerical magic, I still know about those spells.
Yeah, you've heard of it.
He even looks annoyed. He looks annoyed, like, how dare her assume I don't know. He just steps back.
You get in the bath, and she pours into the bath this bag full of diamond dust. And you were like, oh, that's where the 100 gold pieces went, was to that. Damn. Okay. And she goes through this casting, this ritual casting that takes quite a while. And as he's in the bath, you can see his age wear off of him over the span of an hour or so. And the priestess gets, you can see she tires as she casts and goes through it. And when she's done, you can see Eslov is back to where he was. She goes, I need a few hours before I do the next one. I'll be back when I'm rested. And she heads out. And I think this is a good place to break.
Okay.
You're healed, Eslov.
Eslov is...
Why do you sound like that, Vesryn?
They
probably
transferred
doesn't-
it to me.
He probably doesn't remember a thing.
What's the last thing you remember?
All right.
A hole.
Just kind of raises an eyebrow. Like,
To be continued.
Yeah, next week. Good night, everybody. We'll see you next
Good night,
week.
guys. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Good night. Auf Wiedersehen.
Bis bald, bis später. Tschüss. Ciao.